Imagine paying $100,000 just for the privilege of sponsoring a skilled foreign worker. That's not science fiction. It's the proposal now on the table for H-1B visas. In the next 10 minutes, we'll break down why this has surfaced, who wins and loses, and what it means for the America you thought you knew. Stay tuned. This could reshape the future of U.S. innovation, business, and immigration. Hi everyone, I'm your name, and today we're diving deep into a dramatic shift in U.S. immigration policy. The proposed $100,000 one-time fee for new H-1B visa petitions. If you're a tech worker, HR professional, international student, or policy enthusiast, this change demands your attention. First, a quick refresher. The H-1B visa is a cornerstone of U.S. skilled immigration. It lets American employers sponsor foreign nationals in specialty occupations like engineering, software, research, medicine, and more. Over time, it has become a key pipeline for global talent flowing into the U.S. economy. But now, that system may be under threat. This proposed fee increase would fundamentally recalibrate incentives, costs, and access. In this video, we'll review how the current H-1B system works, examine the details of the $100,000 proposal, unpack the political motivations behind it, walk through the advantages and the risks, highlight how different stakeholders are reacting, look ahead to what this might mean for U.S. competitiveness and immigration policy overall. Let's get started. 1. Current H-1B system overview. 1-2 Minai. Voiceover. On-screen graphics. What is H-1B? The H-1B is a non-immigrant visa for specialty occupations that generally require a bachelor's degree or its equivalent. Many roles in tech, engineering, medicine, research, and academia fall under this umbrella. Fees and process today. Employers currently pay multiple fees when submitting an H-1B petition, depending on company size, whether the employer is H-1B dependent, and whether premium processing is requested. Example fees include the base filing, an ACWIA fee, if applicable, fraud prevention and detection fee, and optional premium processing. Note the fee schedule is periodically updated by USCIS, cap and lottery system. Because demand often exceeds the supply, Congress has set statutory caps. 65,000 regular H-1B visas plus 20,000 extra for people holding U.S. master's degrees or higher. The USCIS uses an electronic registration system and a lottery to select which petitions go forward. Who uses H-1B? Major users include U.S. tech firms, consulting firms, research labs, hospitals, especially for specialists, and universities. Many international students transitioning from OPT, optional practical training, use H-1B as a gateway to longer-term employment. Economic impact. The H-1B program is often credited with helping maintain U.S. leadership in tech, bringing in global talent, fueling innovation, and filling gaps in sectors where domestic supply is limited. At the same time, debates have persisted about whether it depresses wages or displaces American workers. With that foundation in place, let's see precisely what the new $100,000 proposal entails, and how it differs from the status quo. With that foundation in place, let's see precisely what the new $100,000 proposal entails, and how it differs from the status quo. What is being proposed? On September 19, 2025, President Trump signed a proclamation requiring a one-time $100,000 fee for any new H-1B visa petition filed on or after September 21, 2025. The proclamation mandates that petitions filed without this payment will be restricted or denied. Scope and time frame. The fee is in effect for 12 months, until September 21, 2026, unless extended. It is tied to new petitions filed after the effective date. Petitions filed before September 21, 2025 are exempt. Importantly, renewals or extensions of existing H-1B visas are explicitly exempt from the fee. However, there is ambiguity around whether a change of employer or amendment petition counts as new or renewal under this rule. Which fees are changed versus added? The $100,000 is an additional fee, not a replacement for existing fees. So an employer would likely have to pay all existing filing and regulatory fees plus this surcharge, unless exempt or granted a national interest exception for eligible petitions. The proclamation gives the Homeland Security Secretary authority to exempt certain individuals, employers, or whole industries if deemed in the national interest. For example, multiple medical associations have already petitioned to exempt physicians from this fee, arguing healthcare delivery would suffer otherwise. The policy lacks clear guidance on how or when the $100,000 payment must be made, how verification will work, or which federal accounts it will flow into. Some CBP guidance suggests the fee applies only to petitions for non-citizens outside the U.S., but USCIS statements are broader. Now that we know what's being asked, the next question is, why is this being pushed, politically and strategically? 3. Political motivations and context. 3-4 Who supports it, and why? The proposal is part of a broader push by the Trump administration to tighten immigration, prioritize American workers, and overhaul the so-called lottery system. Supporters argue it aligns with the narrative of protecting domestic workers from foreign competition, especially in tech and STEM fields. Some business leaders, like Reed Hastings, have surprisingly expressed support, arguing the fee would reduce randomness and promote higher-value hires. Who opposes it and why? Technology firms, immigrant advocacy groups, certain congressional Democrats, and some economists have strongly criticized it. They say it risks suppressing innovation, harming competitiveness, and violating due process or statutory rulemaking norms. Immigration politics and election dynamics. Heavy immigration legislation often surfaces during or before election cycles. The timing here suggests strategic posturing, appealing to a base that favors stricter immigration controls. Raising H-1B fees is less overt than using visa bans or quotas, but still exerts control over skilled migration without requiring new laws. Lobbying and stakeholder influence. Tech firms, universities, and medical institutions will almost certainly lobby hard against this in Congress or via the courts. On the other hand, labor groups or associations of trade unions may support stricter controls as a means of protecting certain domestic job sectors. Historical precedent. The U.S. has previously adjusted H-1B-related fees and rules, for example, additional employer surcharges during 2010-2015, as leverage to steer program usage. But nothing of this magnitude has been done before. The legally binding power to impose a six-figure fee via executive proclamation, bypassing extended public rulemaking, is especially controversial. With that political lens in mind, let's look at the arguments in favor of this steep increase. What backers believe might be gained. 4. Advantages of the fee increase. 4-5 A. For the U.S. revenue boost. The government could raise massive sums from these fees, bolstering federal coffers or funding targeted programs. Though critics will ask, would the collected dollars outweigh losses elsewhere? Protecting U.S. workers. Proponents argue that fewer H-1B petitions would reduce outsourcing or the downward pressure on wages in certain industries, particularly for mid-level roles. Lowering competition in key sectors. Suppose only companies that truly need top-tier talent will pay. High-cost barrier means fewer marginal hires. That could leave more room for U.S. job seekers in less specialized or lower-wage technical roles. Funding domestic workforce training. The additional revenue could be channeled into training Americans, boosting STEM education, apprenticeships, or retraining programs. B. For the immigration system, per its proponents, reduced application volume and backlog. A higher fee may act as a filter, reducing low-value or speculative filings and easing pressure on adjudicators. Better quality applications. Only serious employers will file. Petitions may become more carefully constructed, reducing frivolous or fraudulent cases. Administrative efficiency. The government can allocate more resources to reviewing fewer but higher stakes petitions, potentially speeding adjudication times for top-tier cases. Strategic prioritization. The administration can channel exemptions via national interest carve-outs to sectors deemed vital, e.g. health, defense, thus retaining flexibility in policy. Those are the potential upsides. But in policy like this, risks are often more numerous. Let's inspect them in detail. 5. Disadvantages of the fee increase. 5 to 7 million. A. For businesses. Skyrocketing costs. A single petition could now carry a six-figure cost, which many companies, especially startups or small to medium firms, simply cannot absorb. This may constrain innovation and reduce willingness to take bold hiring bets. Competitive disadvantage. U.S. companies might lose access to global talent to nations with friendlier immigration regimes, Canada, Australia, EU. Top candidates may decline U.S. offers altogether. Barrier for scale-ups. High-growth firms often depend on foreign talent to scale. A $100K fee per hire might slow or derail growth trajectories. Disparate impact. Large, cash-rich corporations might absorb the cost, but for smaller players, especially those in less capital-intensive sectors, it could be prohibitive. B. For international workers' access shrinks. Many qualified professionals, especially early career ones, may be effectively priced out of U.S. employment, regardless of talent or credentials. Career disruption. International students or OPT graduates hoping to transition to H-1B may lose their path. In turn, this may harm U.S. universities' attractiveness for global students. Brain drain to competitor nations. Countries like Canada, the UK, Singapore, or EU nations may become more attractive destinations, siphoning off top global talent. Inequity and privilege. The fee could tilt the playing field toward candidates from wealthy backgrounds or those sponsored by elite institutions with deep pockets. C. For the U.S. economy, loss of innovation and entrepreneurship. Many startups and tech breakthroughs over the last decades had immigrant co-founders or engineers. Restricting entry could reduce future breakthroughs. Industry-specific harm. Fields like AI, semiconductors, biotech, health tech, and advanced manufacturing all rely on global talent flows. Long-term competitiveness decline. The U.S. risks losing its status as a global magnet for talent. Over time, that affects productivity, growth, and strategic leadership. Revenue trade-offs. If fewer talented workers come in, economic growth slows, meaning government revenue from taxes could be offset or even outweighed by reduced collections elsewhere. Unintended consequences. The policy may push companies toward automation or offshoring rather than domestic expansion, so the intention of protecting U.S. jobs may backfire. Given these stakes, how are real-world actors responding? Let's survey reactions from across the stakeholder spectrum. 6. Industry and stakeholder reactions. Tech industry. Major tech firms have expressed deep concern. Some have advised H-1B employees abroad to return before the cutoff to avoid fee implications. For some, the cost may be manageable. For many, it introduces strategic uncertainty. Accenture, for instance, said that only the 5% of its U.S. workforce is on H-1B, and called the issue a non-issue for them. Healthcare and medical associations. The American Medical Association and 53 medical societies have formally asked DHS to exempt physicians, citing critical workforce shortages, especially in rural and underserved areas. Immigration advocacy groups. They have challenged the legality and fairness of the hike, warning it undermines due process, discriminates based on nationality, and violates the usual rulemaking procedures. Labor unions, some supporting stricter H-1B controls, may argue it benefits domestic labor markets. Others caution that reducing skilled immigration could harm middle and high-skilled job growth. International student groups, universities. Many international students depend on H-1B as a bridge to employment. They see this move as a major deterrent. Universities worried about declining enrollment from abroad may lobby against it. Opinions from economists and market analysts. J.P. Morgan economists estimate the policy could slash 5,500 work visas per month. the Times of India. Others caution the move could harm U.S. growth forecasts and innovation leadership. The Guardian +1 responses from governments abroad. India, whose citizens make up a large share of H-1B holders, has publicly warned that the fee could disrupt service exports and remittances. Reuters +1. All these reactions point toward one thing: the ripple effects will reach far beyond just immigration wonks. So what might the broader future look like? Impact on U.S. global competitiveness. The U.S. has long competed to attract the world's best talent. A steep financial barrier may drive talent to countries with more welcoming policies. Canada's express entry, EU Blue Card, Australia's skilled migration. Over time, this could shift innovation clusters away from U.S. hubs. Comparisons with other countries. Many peer nations already offer more stable or generous permanent residency paths for skilled immigrants. Some use point systems or salary thresholds rather than lottery-based quotas. The 100K barrier is almost unique in scale. Visa spillover effects. If H-1B becomes less viable, employers may turn to other visa classes: O-1 for extraordinary ability, TN-L visas, EB-1 green card routes. But those alternatives have tighter eligibility and may not scale to meet demand. Demographic and workforce consequences. The U.S. is already facing aging population issues, labor shortages, and talent gaps in STEM. This policy may exacerbate those challenges. Possible legal challenges and political pushback. Because the jump is so steep and implemented via proclamation, rather than full regulatory process. Lawsuits are expected. The outcome may force modifications or reversals. Scenarios to watch. How strictly the national interest exception is applied. Whether Congress intervenes to reject or amend the policy. How actual enforcement plays out. Payment verification, petition denials, appeals, and the impact on startup formation, venture capital flows, and R&D investment. Let's bring it back to the main takeaways, and my take on where this might head. Here's what we've covered. We began by understanding how H-1B currently functions, the fees, cap, lottery, and its role in the U.S. economy. Then we laid out the new proposal, a one-time $100,000 fee on new H-1B petitions starting September 21, 2025, with renewals exempted but ambiguity over change of employer or amendment petitions. We analyzed the political motivations, part of a tougher immigration posture, election signaling, protectionist labor narratives, and a hard recalibration of talent policy. On the plus side, supporters say it could raise revenue, reduce frivolous filings, prioritize serious applicants, and protect U.S. workers. On the downside, the risks are vast: stifling innovation, driving talent away, harming small businesses, and undermining key industries. Stakeholders have loudly voiced concerns, from tech to healthcare to governments abroad. And in the long run, this could shift the balance of global talent flows, reshape U.S. competitiveness, and even trigger legal fights or legislative responses. My view? I believe this proposal is a dramatic overreach. The scale of the fee risks doing more harm than good. If implemented strictly, it could essentially turn H-1B into a luxury permit accessible only to elite firms and deep-pocketed entities. The danger is that America loses not just competition on cost, but leadership in ideas, collaboration, and innovation. That said, if the national interest carve-outs are broad and enforcement is tempered, the damage might be mitigated. But uncertainty is the name of the game. What to watch going forward: congressional reaction and possible overrides, lawsuits challenging the proclamation guidance from DHS USCIS on how payments and verification will be handled, how many national interest exceptions get approved, and for which sectors, whether companies pivot to alternate visa routes, real-world hiring and investment decisions over the next 12 months. If you found this deep dive helpful, hit like and subscribe and ring that notification bell. I'll follow this closely and offer updates as the story unfolds. In the comments, what do you think? Is $100,000 too steep or justified? Have you, or someone you know, been affected by an H-1B change or policy shift? What sections would you like me to explore next? e.g., detailed case studies, legal challenges, alternate visa paths. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.